Hey, I'm back. 90 Day Fiancé, Season 8, Episode 2 and 3. So I'm going to jump right in. Brandon finally goes to the Washington Dulles Airport near my house. Hey, Dallas. To pick up Julia with his mom and his dad. And they are more excited than he is. They're like little kids. Like, oh my gosh, she's finally coming. I'm so excited. And, she arrives at the airport and his mom and his dad are happy and they're clapping and Brandon's kissing her for an extended period of time, which he should. That's his fiance. They haven't seen each other in a long time. And then it gets awkward. It's like, oh, we can't keep clapping for 5 minutes. So what do we do? It's awkward. Then they go to dinner, they go to lunch, and Brandon's mom blurts out, like, since Brandon didn't tell you, I'm gonna tell you, you're not sleeping with him. After we go to sleep, you in your room, he's in his. Sorry, you're not married. It's our house, our rules. And she's like, oh, okay. And she keeps looking at Brandon like, when was you gonna tell me this? And it gets awkward kind of quick. So it's a bit much for them. Then they stay in D.C. overnight and they wake up in the morning and Brandon's mom, of course, has all these plans. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. Brandon, where are you? Get off my back. My fiance just came here. Give me a minute to calm down. She's aggressive. Excuse me. I apologize. I had a little disturbance. Then they get up in the morning. They go doing a tour of D.C., which is the monument. Look at the White House. They're taking pictures and selfies, and the mom is getting annoyed because she's young and she takes selfies. That's what kids do. Young adults do. And his mom's like, okay, come on, we gotta go. I'm like, she's really a lot to take in at one time, but that's his mama. And then she says to him, when are you going to tell your mom, like, if we don't sleep together, I'm leaving, or if we don't sleep together, then we leave together, basically get our own spot. I don't know if Brandon told her, I don't have no money because I done pay for all these trips with you and I'm poor. So he's like, well, my mom isn't going to budge. And she goes, well, you have to talk to her. He talks to her. She's still like, no. And Julia, of course, is not happy, but she can't believe he doesn't stand up for himself. And she's overwhelmed. So we have Mike, Uncle Bo, and Natalie. Now, Uncle Bo lived with him for a long time. They did the whole farm together. They manned the land that he owned. I think he said 27 acres, something like that. But he asked Uncle Bo to move out because Natalie doesn't feel comfortable. And I understand. You're a single woman, kind of single woman in a new country. Your fiance drives 3 hours to work every day. So for 6 hours, he's on the road, and then the remaining portion, he's at work. So you don't see him from basically sun up till sundown, almost time for you to go to bed, and you're alone all day. And Uncle Bo look a little bit kooky. Uncle Bo has no fronts. He got his 2 teeth right here, and he's missing, and he drinks a lot. He's a little bit much. And, he may be harmless. He seems harmless, but for a woman that is not comfortable. And I understand. So Uncle Bo understood and he moved out down the road somewhere. I don't know where he's staying. But he moved out and, she appreciated that. And Mike hated to do it. But, they did understand this is what has to happen. So Michael seems so uninterested in Julia. Like, I know they had problems and they weren't ready to move in together. They weren't in a good place because she gave the ring back. Because remember, last season, she was like, oh, I can grow to love him. I don't love him yet, but I think it can happen. And he's like, oh, yep, that ring going back in my pocket. Oh, sorry. And every time he talks to her, she just looks like, yeah. And the looks on his face are priceless. So they stayed in Seattle the night that she arrived because it was a long drive back to Washington, Squim, Washington. And she's like, I'm surprised we staying in a hotel because, Mike said he has money problems. I'm like, he got money problems. You don't have a ring. He doesn't seem interested in you, but you still coming over there. I'm going to leave it alone. So then they go and meet Uncle Bo before they go back to Squeam, whatever the place is called. And they having lunch. Uncle Bo comes in and she meets him for the first time. And the look on her face is like, ugh. Like he looks dirty. Like she's just judged. She has a very judgmental personality / character about her. And she says, oh, nice hat, like whatever. She gives him an awkward hug. And then they come in and he orders a whiskey. And she says to him off the back, how many whiskeys did you get? Can you drink in one sitting? And I'm like, girl, please. He just said that. Leave him alone. And he goes, however many they give me. And he starts laughing. Like, mind your business. But she seems nice. But she says, Uncle Bo seems very nice, but I don't want to invite him back to our house. Like, no, he can't be at our house. Anyway, girl. Then we talk about Tariq and Hazel, and he's from last season, a couple seasons ago, actually. She's finally coming over, and Tariq is what? A rapper. Talking about hot sauce. Boy, please. What's your real job? He met her on an Asian website. They've been talking for a while now. And he compares Hazel to Angelina Jolie. I don't know why, but okay. They dated for 3 months and did online dating. He went to meet her and her parents for the first time. They've been engaged for 2 years. Her son lives with his father. She didn't get into details as to why the son lives with her father and not her, because the majority of the time, let's say 80% of the time, the mom has the kid. So that's a little bit, what happened. And Tariq's daughter is 9, I believe she said, 8 or 9, and she has high functioning autism. Like, you can hold a conversation with her, but she doesn't really comprehend. And he's, kind of nervous about them two meeting and how they'll gel, how they'll mesh, because Hazel's English is okay and Ari understands, but she just doesn't comprehend, I would want to say. So you have to have a lot of patience with children who have autism. So we'll see. And Tariq has almost full custody of her because he has her 5 days a week and her mom has her on the weekend. And then Hazel gets upset because she knows she's expressing how hard it's going to be to not have her son. No matter how many days it is, she's not going to have her son with her while she's staying there and living this good life. But she wants to bring her son there full time, which I don't know how it's going to work. If his father has him the majority of the time and you have him on a weekend, you will just pull him out of what he knows and come to the United States. I don't know how it's going to work out, but we're going to see. Then Tariq goes and meets his best friend, Angela. They go look for a powder blue suit to meet Hazel at the airport. And his friend is talking to him like, how's your brother? And we all know Dean and Tariq's situation. The brother did not like Hazel in the beginning. He gave her a hard time. And now Dean is his brother's name, is now in the Philippines, married to a Philippine girl. But they don't speak. I don't know what happened. But, he's telling his best friend, I don't care. I haven't talked to him in over a year. He's not coming to my wedding. He's not invited in my life. And we're just done, basically, because he went crazy on me last year. What else? Oh, then he goes to meet Hazel at the airport in this blue suit with the flowers, and she was happy. And I'm like, why are you in a whole blue suit at the airport? And she got on like a mini skirt and a top. But okay, whatever you do, you want to do, you do. Then we got Rebecca and Ziad. Rebecca, you are too old to be acting like this. Like, her and her friend go to work out at the gym. Rebecca, she said she's 49. She looks 50-something. 49 years old and has this shirt of Ziad, different pictures of him across her chest. How old are you? How old are you? That you got to put your man's face on your... Move on. And she has coffee mugs. Everything she has his picture. I'm waiting for the tattoo. We're going to move on. So her friend is one of her best friends. They work together at the old background investigation place. And she was like, I'm still nervous about you being with him because this is your second time marrying someone in that culture. And this is also the guy that I found no background or work history for. What is he going to come here to do? And she's just like, oh, well, he's different and he really loves me. And she's like, I know what happened in the past because I'm still financially recovering financially from my ex. Okay. And you like, I'll give a synopsis at the end of this whole thing because I have a lot to say about these people and who they're meeting. Then she goes to a video game store to buy him a video game console to keep him occupied during the day since he can't work. I'm going to leave that there. Period. Hard stop. Jovi and Yara, she comes into the apartment and she's complaining how small it is. She hasn't been there 5 minutes and she's like, oh, Jovi, why is it like this? Why is this there? Why is that there? He's like, it's the cleanest, it's the safest in New Orleans. I figured she would like it. But, you know, it's just two of us for now. Why am I getting something so crazy and so big? Which I agree. As soon as she gets there and takes off her jacket, he's like, okay, let's go. And she's like, let's go where? We're going to go out, you know, meet my friends. Man, I've been on a flight for 30 hours that you planned because you're so cheap and you wanted me to fly for almost 2 days in air, waiting, resting, getting back on a plane because you're so cheap and you want me to take a shower, get yourself and pop back up and ready to go. Like, people just don't sleep on airplanes. They sleep, they read, they try to get comfortable. That's 30 hours is a long time. I'm telling you that right now. I lost my mind going to Vegas and that was 5 hours. But okay. Then they get the next day and he takes her around so she can see you know, what New Orleans looks like. And it looks filthy, it looks dirty. What I've heard of New Orleans is it's nice, but it stinks because of the horses and the poop, and they don't clean up after the horses. So she's walking around and he's like, yeah, we're gonna go see my mom today. And she's like, okay, we can go see your mom. But guess what? I'm not staying there. He wants her to stay at his mom's place overnight. And it's like, why would you do that? Why would you want her to stay somewhere that she doesn't know? Like, this is day one and you got her trying to stay. Yeah, it's your mom's place, but it's not comfortable. She just got there. And if I was coming to a new country, I wouldn't want to stay at your mom's house either because I don't know the environment. I barely know you like that overnight. So I need to get some time. But Jovi's pushing her as usual. And he said, well, just pack a bag and see, you know, what happens, which means, bitch, you staying. We ain't leaving. They go over there. She's like, oh, hi, how are you? Nice to meet you. I'm going to teach you how to cook chicken fricassee. And it doesn't look good now, but it looks really, really good. And then they eat. And she's like, oh, yeah, it is good. They get back to the room. It was not good. It didn't have any taste to it. And then she's complaining, oh, your mom is very pushy because his mom wants to know when's the wedding date? What's happening with the wedding date? And she goes, oh, we're not having a big wedding because my mom can't be here. And I don't want to have my mom have a big wedding celebration. My mom's on a video and y'all sitting here having a good time. And his mom was like, well, why can't we have something like just a little party? And she's like, no, we're not. And I understand if my family couldn't be there, but all of yours could, and his family is pretty big, that's not a cool look. So we have to find a date that's going to work for everybody. A little bit back on Brandon and Julia. His mom is really in their business about having kids, about is she on birth control? Can she talk to her doctor about being on birth control? And Brandon is just like, he has no, mom, stop. How about, if you don't be rude, mom, that's enough. Let's just give her a break. She just got here. Like, say something like that. And this is really awkward. And she's like, sorry, you can't stay in the same room with him. And that's what it is. You're not married. My house, my rules. Move on kind of attitude. Andrew and Amira, the final couple. Sorry, we have one more couple to talk about, but they wait 4 episodes in to get to them. Andrew and Amira, she's from France. Andrew. He works at his mom's daycare full time, which is nice, but rare to see, you know. And it was nice they was showing him reading stories to kids. And he said he doesn't have many friends. He found Amira after going on an international dating website because he hadn't had much luck with local websites. He doesn't have many friends. He looks like that. Amira is half French and half Egyptian. Very exotic to me. But she doesn't fit in. All she does is look at makeup and clothes all day. And that's like her thing. She said she tried dating. It didn't work out over there in France. They talked for a few months and then they met in Vegas and they hit it off. After 3 days, he proposed to her. Of course, she accepted and gave her a very pretty sapphire ring, which is, an emerald ring, not a sapphire because it was green. And she said she waited 1 year to get the visa, and the visa finally got approved. The same day her visa came, the president announced nobody else coming into the United States. So, of course, Andrew goes, well, I'm very crafty at trying to find ways around things. And I was on a website for people who were in the same predicament or boat that I'm in. And I found that people going to Mexico, quarantining for 14 days, and then coming to the United States. He found a loophole. His mom is like, oh, you sure that's going to work? It's kind of risky because you don't know what the people who did this, their circumstance was, or how it worked out well for them. But he wants to try this out on her, and he has no real stake in this other than waiting for her. So he's talking to her on the phone, and he's like, Amira, you leaving 2 days? Are you nervous? And she's like, yeah, I'm nervous because of the coronavirus. I don't want to catch it. I don't want to get stuck. And but she said she's going to risk it because she doesn't want to lose her passport or her visa. And she doesn't want to lose Andrew because she really loves him. So then Andrew and his sister go and talk. And his sister is like, I didn't get a good feeling from her. She seems really superficial. And like she just doesn't care about much but herself and her looks. And then he says, yeah, well, I'm kind of concerned now, too, because she mentioned she doesn't want to have kids. And I really want to have a family. And yet again, yeah, still going through with this, but we're going to move on. And then Amira has lunch with her dad to say her goodbyes. And his last time seeing his daughter for a while. And her dad does not like Andrew. He has seen him make her cry. And she said, Andrew keep pressuring me. And he keeps telling me if I don't come, he's going to resent me forever. Then you come here. How about that? If it's that easy for you to tell me that, then how about you reverse the roles and you come to France and let's start life in France? But you can't do that, right? So don't tell me what's easier for you and how you're going to resent me if I don't do what you want me to do. But this is apparently a common thread with Andrew. She also mentions this is not his first time pressuring her, and he keeps pressuring her until she gives in, and he gives her money, so she feels obligated to prove her love. I'm like, oh, poor girl. I'm going to put a period in this, and I'm going to say this about these women and men. I understand everybody wants love. I feel everybody deserves love. I hope everybody finds love. But finding love, accepting love, and getting love does not mean you subject yourself to poor treatment, to half-ass behavior, to lackluster goings on, and you just settle because you feel like you're not going to find anybody else. How about you just date and have a good time, enjoy life, enjoy whoever you want to date. You don't have to sleep with all of them, but just have a good time. And don't think that this person that you think loves you so much is the last thing you ever going to have, or is the only person that will ever love you because they give you money, because they take you on trips. Like, I know it has a lot to do with self-esteem. I know it has a lot to do with you just not finding what you want and you being lonely or alone. And it may not be fun, but sacrificing yourself for so many years to bad behavior sets you up for failure in the end. Or it lets the person know, man or woman, I can do whatever I want to do to them and they'll be right here. Take that and one to grow on. Have a good day. Talk to y'all tomorrow with episodes 4 and 5. And we get into the last and final couple with this cougar and this young man from Belize. Talk to y'all later. Like, subscribe, and comment.